parameter for instruction, and then let you guys kind of work on that. So you know that you have the 5 buses that you have to park side by side. So please look up here for just a moment. This won't take very long. Okay, you have the 5 buses that you have to park side by side and figure out how you're going to approach from one side and park the buses, correct? And the canopy has to completely cover the buses. I'm going to give you the option of making it between 4 and 5 buses. If 5 is not working, then you can go to 4, okay? The terminal building is 2,000 square feet of total covered area, okay? 1,000 square feet of that is indoor enclosed area between the 2 glass walls. Approximately 500 square feet is outdoor waiting area that should sort of orient towards the bus canopy or be near it, adjacent to it. And 500 square feet approximately will be the entry area, the covered entry area. Okay? Now the covered entry area can be made smaller so that it's maybe, say, 300 square feet, which would make the back waiting area 800 square feet. Okay? That would be probably more proportionate to what you would want to do. So again, referencing the model that we were just working on here. Okay, oops, let me zoom in on this one. So referencing this, the area inside between the 2 glass walls is 1,000 square feet. The entry area is, let's call it from 300 to 500 square feet, and the outdoor waiting area for the buses is going to be between 500 and 800 square feet, okay? Or 700 square feet. So total 2,000, okay? The indoor area, I will be giving you some additional pieces that have to go into it, okay? So the additional pieces that we'll be putting inside of it are going to be a ticketing area, 2 bathrooms, and that's about it. Just an indoor waiting area in addition to the outdoor waiting area, okay? So when we left the other day, I had you guys create like 3 different shapes, right? All of which had about 1,000 square or 2,000 square feet. Correct? So what you need to do now is you need to create an object that has a polygonal form, right, that is about the size of one of those things. That'll kind of guarantee that your object is 2,000 square feet or pretty close. Okay? Are there questions about that? No? All right. So for your homework for next week, what I'm going to ask you to do is come in with your site with all the modifications cleaned up, right? So the drive approaches and stuff and everything at the right elevation, your parking area defined and all. And I'm going to ask you to come in with 5 different iterative approaches or designs to the canopy and terminal building. Okay? So remember that the 2 have to sit in relationship to each other, as I've pointed out in that model. So I'm asking you for 5 different designs, okay? Visible in the designs will be the 4 or 5 buses, the canopy structure covering the buses, the terminal building shape, the 2 glass walls delineating where indoor is, okay? All right, questions? All right, so there was a question, and it was, do I want them on the site plan each time, or do I want them off to the side? All you got to do is take your site plan and copy it over. So you're literally going to end up with 5 sites right by each other with 5 different designs on them. Okay? Good question, Isabel. Very good question. So next question was, do we want surface cuts? No, we'll cover that next week. Like I said, I'm holding up this little model that kind of delineates kind of a patterning cutout exercise. So we'll talk about doing something like that. Okay? All right. Let's see if there are other questions.